not prevent students from having the best possible learning opportunities. So the first step for us has been distributing Chromebooks, and we've been doing that over the really multiple weeks now. And we're approaching 13,000 Chromebooks that we've been able to distribute to families. And we think that number could even approach 15,000 by the time we're done. But the next step is Wi-Fi. You're exactly right. And how do we make sure that all of our families have Wi-Fi? So we've been working closely with Comcast as a partner, the city of Rockford, uh, Representative Maurice West. We've been in as many places as we possibly can be to try to decrease the number of students who are unable to participate due to a lack of Wi-Fi.
Has there been a timeline at all for anything like that, getting people Wi-Fi who don't have access to it now?
Basically, we're going to just take it one day at a time here. As of tomorrow, we are planning on having all of our office professionals in the schools. They should be working from a list of people who filled out on the survey that they didn't have Wi-Fi access, and we're going to be encouraging families through those direct phone calls to walk them through some of the options for getting Wi-Fi access. There are some great opportunities in our community that will allow that.
And so you guys are kind of traversing through something you've never had to go through before. So what are the expectations for students and for parents with e-learning at this time?
Yeah, as we've shifted into what we're calling the remote learning phase, we are really expecting that students and teachers find ways to stay connected and engaged. We do have paper packets as a last resort, but ideally we are trying to interact through some type of weekly interaction between teachers and students and families. We want that connection, whether it's through a Zoom meeting like we're attempting to do here, or whether it's checking in and giving feedback on assignment. We want to make sure teachers and students have lots of different options of how they can stay connected. We think that helps academically, but we also just think it's important for people to stay connected during times like these.
So are there still things in place like attendance and homework for students?
The way it works is we've asked our teachers and our to check in with their students. There's a week's worth of assignments and work that goes out that students work on, and teachers can then interact at least once a week, ideally, in some format or another. And for some students, that's been hard to do because of the Wi-Fi access or because of technology or some of the things that they're dealing with in their life as we deal with some of the struggles of COVID-19. But ideally, we want to have some kind of connection as often as possible. And it really has varied from student to student and family to family, depending on what their needs are.
And the district is anticipating more than $11 million from the federal government to help it through this pandemic. Have you gotten any more direction as to when you're getting this money and how it's going to be used?
We have not gotten any updated information. We do know that the dollars coming from the federal government through the state government will have some specific ways that they're supposed to be used. We anticipate knowing more in 4 to 6 weeks about those dollars and using them in 3 major ways. One is there is going to be a significant need to continue to invest in technology to ensure that all of our students have access to the kinds of platforms that we need to ensure remote learning can take place. 2, there are thousands of students that, in losing 10 weeks of a school year, lost major connections and opportunities to connect face-to-face, to get social emotional support as well as academic needs met. So we expect there's going to be some kind of a need for much more robust extended summer learning. And then finally, we expect major impacts on state and local budgets. Our district projects somewhere between a $10 to $19 million revenue impact negatively going into the upcoming school year. So that those dollars will also help us prevent from having to cut back services on our students who are going to so richly need those when they return to school. So I think those will be the big 3 broad ways we use the dollars, and we'll be sure to keep the community informed on how we use those as we get more information.
And that somewhat segues into my next question. The district has said it's hopeful it will still have graduation ceremonies for the class of 2020, but we're curious, how does this pandemic impact some students' chances at even getting a diploma at all?
Yeah, in terms of students getting a diploma, we are really prioritizing any students who were struggling with failing grades or needed help on academic progress, we're ensuring students and school counselors and assistant principals and principals and problem-solving teams are reaching out to those students as a top priority. We want to reach out to all of our students, but certainly anybody who is struggling should be at the top of our list to help as many students as possible succeed. In addition, we want to make sure that that graduation experience is as good as it possibly can be. That may be a delayed experience. It may end up being something very similar, or we may have really, really major restrictions still at the point in June or even into July or August in terms of being able to assemble in large groups. So we'll have to look at outdoor or virtual options. But one thing is for sure, we're going to find a way to celebrate with families and students this really important milestone in their lives.
I'm sure a lot of students are happy to hear that. Do you think, I know the district has really made graduation rate a focus of improvement for years to come. Can you see this pandemic impacting the graduation rate in a negative way?
No, it's really too early to tell how this will impact us. I do think that one of the big pieces of guidance that we've received from the state of Illinois in this pandemic is the need to potentially use incompletes because students may have not had enough time. And obviously, if you're a senior, that's not as good of a strategy. But if you're a freshman, sophomore, or junior, or an incoming high school student where grades and credits come into play, we're going to work with all kinds of different strategies, whether it's extended summer learning, credit recovery, to move those incomplete grades based on where they were in the third quarter to some type of successful learning environment. We want to make sure students are not only getting those grades up, but we want to make sure that they're having a high quality learning experience. And that can be challenging with remote learning for sure.
Yes, definitely a lot of challenges you guys have had to endure as well as students and their parents. Dr. Jarrett, I appreciate you being here so much for our 8 minutes of expertise. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And let's go now to Alex Kirshner with a look at our weather.
Conditions are going to be a little